Robert was here. But anyway, this is Mr. Rathburn. He will share with you some things. I'm gonna let him share with you. I'm not even trying to explain what he does or his career or anything, but I'm sure he will have some pertinent, good information to share with you. I'm putting it in his hands right now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for having me as well. All right. Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
What's your dream car?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me go and see if the problems are here.
I already have one. Probably Lamborghini.
Lamborghini, what kind?
I don't know. I like all Lamborghinis. They're pretty fast. But I think I want a Dodge Charger.
Dodge Charger?
Yeah.
Come here. What's your name?
Mark.
Here you go.
Thank you. For real?
Yeah, for real. For real. Just for your contribution to, talking up and speaking up. I like to reward people every now and then. I appreciate y'all to be engaged, with the conversation, everything like that. So I love Lambos as well. That's probably gonna be one of my next cars that I buy.
For real?
No joke. No joke. So my name is Rell Purnell. I am a business owner and entrepreneur. My career started around the age of 18. Went into the military. So right after high school, talked to my mom. My mom was like, "Hey, look, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but to go on the right path, I see the military as being something good for you."
All right then.
So that set me up and springboarded my whole career of what I'm gonna talk to you guys about today.
I have a question.
Yep.
What do you do in the military? Do y'all just train and that's it? Like, go on missions?
That's a great question. You will go on missions depending on your job career. So me personally, I can only speak on my experience. My career was in the transportation because I love cars. So I was a transportation management coordinator, which is the person who coordinates all the coordinates everything for the trucks, the cars. That let's say if they're going on a mission, and let's say they're in Afghanistan trying to bomb somebody, we need to make sure that they're set up in the right places so that we don't get attacked.
So like basically like protecting the the president had a little thing that
Convoy. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 1,000%. But that springboarded my whole career. Like I said, grew up around cars. Went to Forest Park High School. I don't know if y'all guys are familiar with Forest Park High School.
I know Forest Park.
Yep, right down the street. And once I got out the military, I spent 10 years in finance and banking. I was working for Bank of America for 10 years. And I always was trying to figure out my next move and what's the next thing I wanted to do. Even though I was making good money in banking, it was kind of burning me out.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, so I got with some guys who was working with me at the bank and we started throwing car shows. They were party promoters. And I said, hey, look, we can combine, your knowledge with the party promoting along with the knowledge that I know of cars, and I had a car club at the time. And we started throwing car shows.
What cars did y'all put on the show?
Yeah.
So that was in between 2008 to 2013. So, all the cars that y'all see on the streets that y'all like. At the time, it was a lot of Crown Vics, and then around 2010-ish, it was like the Dodge Chargers, the Scat Packs and Hellcats wasn't available at the time. But you had like the RTs and the SRT8s at that point in time. They were big on like the 24s and 26s, Lambo doors, paint, TVs, stereo systems. So, like real live car show cars.
Do you have a favorite car?
Yeah, right now, that's a great question. So my favorite car has always been the Aston Martin. Always been the Aston Martin. I bought my first Benz. Had it on 4 Giottos and everything. Been in car shows, won big trophies, met a lot of people. I started doing proms, I started doing weddings. And along with hosting the car shows, I started networking as well. And started meeting a lot of people in business. And that springboarded me into 2014 buying my first Bentley. And when I bought my Bentley, right off the lot, I met with an artist. I don't know if y'all familiar with Shy Glizzy, but I was in DC transporting Shy Glizzy, and that was my first artist in a Bentley. I never looked back since then. So since 2014 of me buying that car, I've been a full-time entrepreneur since then. And that was 10 years ago. And I've been using that pretty much to network and get around high net worth individuals to do business with them, provide vehicles for them, weddings, you name it, proms, especially for proms. Y'all heard about people taking fancy cars to proms, Rolls Royces and Bentleys and Ferraris and Lamborghinis and all that. We provide everything. I got a whole
My
network.
dad wanted me to do that for my prom.
Yeah, I got a whole network of people that, you know, I do business with, and, you know, we provide all the resources for the people who need our services. Y'all familiar with Gervonta Davis, the boxer?
I think I heard of
From
him.
Baltimore, the boxer? When he had the parade, you know, we brought out cars, I brought out the whole car community to have him there, being chauffeur driven in, you know, whatever vehicle he would like at the time. The Money Team, Floyd Mayweather, everybody was out there in the, what was that, Pennsylvania Avenue community where he's from. Under Armour, I did business with Under Armour. Y'all familiar with Under Armour, right? Kevin Plank, the billionaire. Did business with him, been on ABC World News. So just by me jumping out there and following my passion around cars and just, you know, went from me liking cars and people asking me, hey, can I take your car to my prom or take my car to a wedding? To me just buying bigger cars and and leveraging my passion to, you know, get me the dream lifestyle that I want.
I have another question. Like,
Absolutely.
do the people who drive the car, do they drive the car?
Meaning what?
Like, meaning you give them the car and do they drive themselves?
That's a great question. So here in the DC Maryland region, what I deal with is mainly on the concierge side, where you're being chauffeur driven.
Because I was about to say, what if they crash the car?
Yep, that's a liability. Now I do have resources that does rent out cars as well, but you know it's a risk that you take in business. I mean, if you're renting out the car, you might rent it for like $1,500, $2,000 a day, depending on, you know, the type of vehicle. But you'll have that. It's a big payout, but you got that risk. What if somebody crashed the car? What if somebody damaged the car? What if somebody smoking the car and ashes everywhere and started burning holes in seats and everything like that? So you do have that risk if you decide to go that route. Me personally, I wanted to do as less risk as possible. So me driving the car and just having people ride in the back seat, or, you know, doing a video shoot or anything like that where they don't have as much, well, I don't have as much risk to take. That's the route that I chose. But, you know, that's a great question. So yeah, that's pretty much, you know, what I did for the base point of, you know, what I do. The name of my company is called Sierra's Luxury. You know, again, I've been doing this since 2014, but full time. But as far as the lifestyle, I've been doing it since 2006, since I bought my first SUV.
Is starting a business hard, or like it's like meeting?
So it really all depends on where you at, and that's a great question. It depends on where you at. And if you have did a lot of research, maybe on the industry, and maybe you have worked, you know, a couple jobs, and let's say you work with a business owner, you working close with a business owner, and you kind of see the ropes of what they're doing as far as business, then it may not be as hard for you. But if you have never worked a job, you know, you don't know how things run, then it may be a little difficult. That's when you want to gain some knowledge, either working for somebody or going on YouTube. Everything's on YouTube these days. You know, read a couple books and everything like that. But basically just network, being around people who know that business work. How old are you?
14.
You're 14, man. So being as though that you're 14, people who, you know, like myself and other individuals who are at where you want to be at, they're more receptive to talk to kids because they were once in your shoes. I was once in your shoes, sitting right here in this church. So
You went to this church before?
yeah, 1999 is when I joined this church.
Dang.
Yep, got married in this church in 2009. Yep. So what do you want to do?
Football player.
Football player?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What else?
YouTuber, I guess.
Okay.
But there's only two passions I really have. People be telling me I should play basketball though.
You good at basketball?
No, that's good.
But because of the height,
Yeah.
definitely take advantage of the height. For sure. But yeah, football is obviously a great career. If you do go to the NFL, definitely start a YouTube channel if you can. I would say start a YouTube channel now. I have a YouTube channel as well.
I already have a YouTube channel right now.
Yeah. How's it going?
Fine.
What you going on YouTube channel?
Regular stuff, gaming stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I can't really do nothing crazy like other YouTubers.
Right.
I'm still a kid.
Right. So it's basically stuff that you're interested in, stuff you do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. What about you? What do you want to do?
I want to be a child doctor. I forgot what it's called. And then I want to be a paramedic.
Okay. So you want to go into basically like the medical field. That's dope. And how old are you? 12. So medical field, you can definitely make a great career out of it. What about you?
I'm gonna be a firefighter.
Firefighter. So, almost the same, along the same lines. That's dope. That's dope. What made you want to be a firefighter?
I see how firefighters be saving people.
Okay. So you like being there for others, I would say. Okay.
Do they still have those poles in the fire?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Yeah, let me see a movie. They just be sliding down the poles. I'm like, I wonder if they still have that.
That's a good
I
question.
think they do.
Everything you guys picked are high income careers, for sure. Yeah, you can take a path of it and build whatever life that you want to build for yourself, the dream life. What questions do you have for me? I know you asked a ton, but what about you guys? I want to hear from y'all too.
What is your favorite thing to do?
Favorite thing to do, man. Few things. Outside of work, because work is fun to me. Because work is around my passion with cars. Like I said, I've been in cars really since 5. So for over 30 years. My favorite thing to do outside of that is being with my family. I like being with my family. That's my daughter Jade right here. My wife Tiffany, she goes to the church faithfully as well. So I like being with them. I like traveling. We travel overseas. Actually, we're about to take a trip, a surprise trip next week. My mom and her mom, my mom is turning 60. My wife's mom is turning 75. And we're taking them on a surprise trip over to Santo Domingo.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, they didn't even know. My mom never been overseas, never just got her passport, and this is gonna be like, a trip of a lifetime. So, she never been on an airplane and just said, hey, look, we're gonna surprise you, just take you on this trip, you turning 60.
Well, she probably gonna be scared on the airplane because.
Yeah, we gonna see. But I like traveling. I've been to Paris. With my daughter, brought my daughter to Paris. Which was pretty dope. Seeing the Eiffel Tower, going to Disney there. My last year birthday, I've been to Italy. Spent time in Rome. Spent time in Venice. Seeing the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Have you went to Japan?
Japan is on the list, man. Japan is on the list.
I want to go.
I gotta get over there. Yeah, I gotta get over there. It's a lot of parts of Asia that I want to tap into, but I've never been to Asia. But yeah, traveling. I started being in the military. Fresh out of the military. That was my first time on a plane at 18, and like, yo, this is dope. I'm down here in Georgia, and we flying to this place, flying to that place. Being over in Germany was pretty cool. So just traveling at a young age, that kind of stuck with me. So outside of cars, family and traveling.
I have another question. Like,
Yep.
in the military, do they cut your hair off?
They do. I had a bush just like yours, but first I had long hair. I had braids at the time. I cut my braids and thought, I'm rocking a bush like probably about the size of yours. Would be okay. Nope. So I sat in that chair and said, your hair is too high. Cut all of it off. But it was all good. It was for the career. I had to do what I had to do at the moment. I didn't say, no, my hair defines me. And then guess what? 6 years later, in 2006, I started growing dreads like him. My hair was all the way down my back. I ain't knocking that at all. I was in the same way. That's my wife Tiffany. I don't know if you married any of these?
Of course.
Okay.
I made it.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we was talking about the last discussion was cutting hair.
Okay.
And I was telling how, I had the fro when I went into the military, cut that off, and then once I started my business, I had the dreads. Another thing, now that my whole family is here, now that we got the whole trifecta. One thing that fueled me to get to where I'm at right now was determination. I wanted to give everything my all. I didn't want to give up. I had a burning desire. Keeping God first. That's huge. That's important. we're in the Lord's temple right now. But those two things led me to where I'm at today. And not waver from. So, if anything that you guys got going on in life, just get through it, but also keep God in your heart, keep God first. and just push through it. You're gonna have trials, you're gonna have tribulations. I had plenty of them. I still have them, but you know I get through them.
I have a question. How did y'all meet? I want to know.
That's a great question. So we met here at the church, actually.
I the water fountain.
Yeah, we was at the water fountain. I was maybe 21 at the time. Seen her. I used to see her around. We used to sit like here in Sunday school and stuff like that when they had Sunday school. So I knew her. You know, we spoke, and I just was like, "Hey, what you do outside of here? Let me grab your number. Maybe we can hang out one day or something like that." And you know, I think probably about a year later we started dating.
Yeah.
We made it official, and then 3 years later after that, I proposed to her. So I felt like, man, this is the one. I can't let this get away. And she said yes. And 2 years later, we got married in 2009. Then, 3 years later, Jay came. What's on your wish list? Wish list to have?
Which looks like what you mean,
Like wish, like things that you want.
Nah, I just like to, YouTube, I like to make people happy. When they feel down, make them happy.
Okay.
I get some money.
And get some money. Okay. So to be successful, profitable, monetized.
Yeah, help
Make
my
money.
family out.
Good stuff. What about you?
It's a lot of things.
Go ahead. Talk about
It's a lot of things I can't remember.
Get it?
it. Say.
Tell one.
Yeah, like what?
What's the first one that came to your head?
More shoes.
More shoes. Okay.
Come on, shoot.
So you like
You want to
shoes?
be a collector, like a collector, shoe collector? Okay.
What about you? What's on your wish list?
I want a PS5.
PS5. Okay.
So you're a gamer.
You good at video games?
Kind of.
So you, Mr. Lamborghini, when you think you'll be able to buy your Lambo?
When I get famous, real famous,
You're the oldest of the group. You're the oldest of the group, right? Okay.
probably when I get settled, I have a house already, and then if I want to buy the Lambo, then I buy it.
So you gonna buy the house before the Lambo? Why?
Because you got to make sure you settle before you get the things you want.
Okay.
I like that answer. Have you ever seen Lambos in person?
Yeah, driving by sometimes.
Okay. Have you ever sat in a Lambo?
No. I sat in a Tesla, it was cool. I want a Tesla too. If I'm tired, just driving to the place I want to go for
And what's your name?
the Monte.
DeMonte?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a place in. Do you have family members that drive?
Mm-hmm.
Do you really like Lambos or you just they cool cars?
I really like Lambos.
Okay.
I like to be comfortable in the Lambo. The Lambos be smooth,
Yeah,
comfortable.
of course. One of my close friends just bought a Performante. You know what a Performante is? Huracan?
No.
Yeah, he just bought a Huracan Performante, and we was out in it having a blast.
How fast was it?
Too fast.
Too fast.
Too fast. Get with me. I'll send you the link so you can watch it. So you can watch the video. But man, that car is dangerously fast. So you want to be sure that you know how to control that thing when you get behind the wheel. I wouldn't recommend it being your first car, even if you got the money. Build your way up. Buy a Hellcat or a Scat Pack first, and then build your way up to something that fast. Because those cars, they just go and they so light. But yeah, if you want to see one in person, the closest place is. Have you heard of Cars and Coffee?
Coffee.
So it's this thing called Cars and Coffee where a lot of enthusiasts, people who have cars like myself, they go to different meetups, and the closest meetup that have Lambos and Ferraris and all the nice cars is in Hunt Valley Shopping Center. So I don't know if you have family that drive, but every Saturday morning between 8 and 10 a.m., Hunt Valley Shopping Center is where you can go to see all the cars. And a lot of owners, as I mentioned, you talk to an owner, you strike up a nice conversation, a lot of them don't mind sharing the experience of sitting in a Lambo for that first time for a kid. Again, because we were all once kids and these were our dream cars and goals, and we know how much you actually feeling that car And sitting in that car will make you grind even harder to go to the NFL or to grow your YouTube channel to be huge, and maybe you collaborate with so many people, and next thing you know, you sit with Mr. Beast or whoever to monetize on that high level, and boom, next thing you know, you're a millionaire. Just because you sat in that Lambo for the first time, talked to that guy, and he gave you encouragement and motivation, and boom, you're at that high level years later. But yeah, cars and coffee, I'll see that info as well. Another thing I would mention it for all of you guys to gain knowledge. Gain knowledge as far as going to the places and meeting people that are in the situations that you want to be in. So like you going to, the fire station, talking to firefighters. They would love, y'all kids, when y'all kids, y'all have the upper advantage. It's a lot of times people don't say no to kids.
I'm using that advantage sometimes.
Use it to your advantage. As y'all start to get into high school, I don't know if they still do this, but where you can like do volunteer work. Like you can probably do some volunteer work in a hospital just to see what really goes on, and to see if that's really something you want to do. I mean, everything sounds cool until you really get into it and you get the feel of it, and you might say, no, this is not what I want to do. I don't want to do this. I don't like this. I'm gonna go a different path. And the younger you are to get around it, and the quicker things are spring into action for you to line up to figure out what you want to do. Mentorship as well. Seek mentors. Whereas though if it's, myself, Pastor Jones, people on YouTube that you guys and girls may look up to, that's a great way as well. Books.